We exposing thug mentality. Hey, yo, what's up, man? Did you get the book? The book? What book? Man, go to ThugExposed.com and get the book, Thug Mentality Exposed, by author Rayford Johnson.
Thug Exposed?
Yeah, man. The book is deep and very informative of the occultic movement called thug mentality.
Say what?
Yeah. Man, for instance, did you know that sagging pants started in prison as male prostitution?
Oh, man, let me pull my pants out. Mama, where my belt at?
You crazy. Hey, listen to this. The author's written facts is ancient spiritual history dating all the way back to ancient Babylon.
Whoa, I gotta get that book, man. Man, what you say that was?
Go to ThugExposed.com or call 1-866-909-BOOK. Representing truth.
Okay.
So get with the new movement.
Oh, for sure.
At ThugExposed.com. We exposing thug mentality.
And I'm here today with my good friend Samani Coleman, and we're just going to talk a little bit about transition, some of the things that transpire from moving from incarceration into the community to become successful. So Samani, I think your story is a lot different than mine, transitioning from youth authority out into the street. Tell me some of the pitfalls and things that happened once released from the California Youth Authority.
Well, I think one of the main pitfalls was the fact that you thought you was going to be strong. You thought you was going to have the capabilities of navigating through things just like you did when you was locked up. But because you didn't have the freedom to see these women the same way. When I was locked up, you had the freedom. I mean, you didn't have the freedom. So you knew you couldn't touch, you couldn't say, you couldn't do, you couldn't look. But once you get out, now it's all in my hands. Now I can do it. And so I think just having that freedom presented the biggest obstacle in all aspects, because that freedom was with you and your gang. That freedom was with you and your hood. That freedom was with you and women. That freedom was with you and the law.
Right.
I can't run from you when I'm locked up, but now I hit that 5.0, pedal to the floor, I'm out of there.
Right.
So I think just that freedom alone presented the biggest problem.
And I think you're absolutely right, and I think that's where the comment of institutionalized comes from, because some people are so used to the structure, being told what to do, when to do, not having the liberty to be able to do the things that you want to do while incarcerated, and then coming home, you really, even though you have a parole agent, really don't have nobody really looking over you, or really trying to help you migrate into society. And so transition becomes difficult, because who are your mentors? Who do you look to get answers and receive the knowledge that you need to be able to be helpful? And I think honestly that's one of the biggest downfalls of penitentiary, youth authority, whatever. There is no in the middle zone to kind of, slowly merge you back into society. Like you say, no women, bunch of women. Here I come. Here I come. And so that definitely is an area that should be looked at and create some programming.
And one thing you just brought up, and it makes a big difference, and I definitely, I guess I got to share this for the system, sorry about that, for the system. When you're locked up, COs have X amount of time or X amount of structure where, since you're so structured, once you get out, you got a parole officer or a probation officer. However, that same situation, you don't have that same structure. Meaning, for example, you could have been put on modified program when you was locked up to keep you away from dangerous situations. Well, now, what kind of system is set up once you're out to keep you from those same dangerous situations. Now, when you're locked up, maybe the senior or the sergeant passes down, says, hey, so-and-so needs to program with such, 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 such. But now you're out. You have to work in society. You have children, and you're subject and open to any and every attack coming from which way. So, and then the structure that you get is so out of whack. I mean, I tell you, I didn't, and I'm be honest with you, I did not drug test ever when I got out. So now you're proving to me that the system doesn't work. And once again, I know the system is set up to work. However, in many cases, it's not working.
Right.
So because of that, now I'm sitting in a situation where if I know you're not holding me to drug testing and seeing you when I'm supposed to see you, now I really can't trust you to make me or put me in a position where I won't be attacked, addressed, or hurt while I'm out here.
Right.
So now the system is failing me. It's set up not to fail, but people are failing me.
Right. Right.
And so that's a big case for people getting out trying to make a transition from total structure to we don't care what you do. You're out now, do whatever you do.
So what role do you feel that the church plays in trying to establish structure for these individuals that are coming out? Because when you look at it, ultimately, people ought to come to the church instead of the government. Because the church should be the beacon of the community, and the programs flooded into the church, and that's why the government has grants and all these things, put these things into perspective. But what happens is the church has a judgmental mentality towards these individuals, and they still look at them as criminals, thugs, even though they attest to be Christians.
Right.
And so how can we get out of this mold and the church actually set up a structure for these individuals to be able to migrate back into society?
And you know what? That's one of the most struggling situations for the church, because we often want to believe that people can get saved. However, do we really believe that people can get saved? We can speak it, we can talk it, we look at each other and say, nah, we gonna get 1 or 2 people tonight and we gonna get them off the street and get them saved. But then once we get them saved, we still don't let the blood cover what is covered.
Right.
And there's very few individuals, and I would just venture to say like us, that have been to the depths that can say, well, you know what, we ain't scared of these folks. Let's get out there, let's get at them.
Right.
Let's make it happen. I know it happened for me, and so it can definitely happen for them. But the bulk of the church hasn't been there. They're talking it, but have never walked it. And without them ever walking it, they will never give God the ability to come out the box and say, God can do that for them.
Right.
But they'll say, and all prostitutes and all pimps and all, yeah, you talking a whole bunch of talk. But what are you doing about it?
Right.
Nothing. You're staying in your cubicles, you're sitting in your pews, you're writing your name on the boardwalk outside, but you're not jumping out there. And that's where people like us, I believe, become a big factor. Because we can say, no, I know for a fact he could be saved.
Right.
Because guess what? Look at you. Guess what?
Right.
Look at me. And so the church, I think, really has to get a hold of those that they know and they trust that have been there and say, hey, look, we need you to do something about it.
So you would be in agreement with me because of the lifestyles that we come from and because of the experiences that we had incarcerated and in jail, that we have a greater source of knowledge to be able to witness to these individuals and actually bring them in.
Greater source of knowledge and also a greater source of responsibility. Because of the fact that we've been there is the reason why we operate and we do what we do. And I just think our responsibility says we have to do it if nobody else does. If it's 1 or 2 of us doing it, then it's just 1 or 2 of us doing it. If we can't capture the whole room, but we can catch that one in the corner, then let's get it. But I think it definitely starts with us, and the responsibility starts with us. And
well, we're going to wrap it up. If you want more information about this subject, you can definitely email us at blessedfaith@ymail.com. You can also catch us at ThugExposed.com to receive workshops and more information about this. God bless you. We'll see you next time.
right.